What is going on, guys? In today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I make websites in Figma, ChatGPT and MidJourney to create stuff like this. It's alive, it's dynamic, it's interactive. We're going to be covering it all start to finish in today's video. Let's go! So for the purpose of today's video, I've actually already created this website and I'm going to show you the process of how I did it. First off, I started with this inspiration. Now this is actually album artwork from the band Odessa, which is one of my favorite bands, and I always felt this was just such a cool image. It's a cool vibe. This image is already quite close to a MidJourney style image, so let's see what it can come up with. Now, although we're going to create this in MidJourney, I asked ChatGPT, give me a MidJourney prompt for a similar image, and I sent it this. It's funny using one AI to generate a prompt for another AI, but trust me, this is what I've been doing. We're going to copy and paste this prompt, and we're going to head over to MidJourney. Now, for that prompt, this is what it came up with, these 4 images here. Not exactly the same as our image here. Head back to ChatGPT. It goes along the horizon but also across the person's eye line because it didn't really copy that. So it gives me another prompt, bring that over to MidJourney, and this time it gives me this. Didn't really follow it at all, but these are starting to look quite cool. I then used ChatGPT to narrow down the prompts even further, saying stuff like the light beam, it doesn't look photorealistic enough, the person should be facing side on, similar style to the image, similar to the moon but with black rocks, the color should mainly be blue and orange. Now this is when our image starts to get closer. It's not exactly the exact same as our reference image from the start, but I think this is looking pretty cool, and this is the sort of vibe that I had in mind. So the next thing to do is we're going to upscale it, so I'm just going to upscale it by 2x, and here is our image. We're going to copy it, go into Figma. Finally, we're going to make a new frame. We're going to choose MacBook Pro 14-inch, and we're going to paste our image into the frame. Look at that. Now you might be thinking this is cool already, but wait until we're done. Okay, so back into ChatGPT, the next time we're going to ask it, we're going to say, give me a fictional concept for it being a game. I'm making a game website where I'll have this video play in the hero. I need a logo idea, concept name for the game, H1, H2, button ideas, navigation, etc. I'm using this more as a sort of exploration practice just to refine my design works, which is something you guys should do too. And so maybe if you're following along with the video, it doesn't actually matter what the concept is. This is just like a client coming to me with a brief, and then I'm working from that brief. It's good practice. The game is called Echo Dust. It's quite cool actually. And you are Commander Solon, last known survivor of Astra Echo mission. Website structure, this is what we need here. So imagine this is a brief from the client. So we're going to have a video background, which we'll generate later with that image that we've already generated. H1, echoes are never silent. Now that's quite cool. Uncover the mystery of NYX47 as a H2. Play trailer, wishlist on Steam, blah, blah. I'm not exactly going to follow this brief word for word, but as a concept, it's given me enough to work with. We'll go back into Figma. We're going to create a grid for this. 12 columns. Gutter 16, margin let's say 64. Now let's create a very simple logo for Echo Dust. So let's go Echo Dust. Give it some spacing, like 9%. You guys can follow me exactly, or you can make your own. Font, we're going to go for this Bruno Ace, which is this sort of sci-fi font, and that already kind of just looks like a logo. That's quite cool. So size, we're going to go 20 pixels, and we want to give it a little logo mark. So let's do something here. Let's go line, and we'll make this 32. We'll give it a weight of 2, and we'll give it a round cap on each side. Now, if we duplicate this 3 times, do something like that. Now let's maybe take these side 2, bring these down. This is just an idea. Now let's create a circle. We'll make it white. Create another circle like this. Make this one black just so we can see what we're doing here. Something like this. Now if we select both of them, we can go up to here and then we can do subtract. Now we've got this kind of cool shape that we can just flatten, and we can pull this into the logo. Something like that. That's kind of cool. So let's select all of that. We'll put that in a frame, and then we'll select that too. Then we'll press Shift and A to make that an auto layout. Click here and gap 16. There's a logo. That's a 1-minute logo. Also, yeah, you might notice this is 1 pixel out, but yeah. So let's have a look at the navigation. Now we'll use something like this. So now we're going to go with this font here, Roboto Mono Regular 14, spacing 26%. Fill, we're going to go with this color here, which is this kind of blue thing. And we're going to move this up to the top. We're going to duplicate this out using Command and D, slide this over. We'll select both of these and then we'll hold Shift and A to make an auto layout, and the gap between them we'll put 48. Now let's go into this one. Let's change this to features. We'll duplicate it again. We'll go media, duplicate that again, and then we'll go community. And there's navigation. So let's just center that because we want that to be dead center. Let's select one of these and then hold Alt and we'll slide this over. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to say Kyle. You can put your name if you want. We're going to select frame and we're going to make a frame that's 32 by 32. Now you can use any image you want, but we're just going to use something like this because it's simple, and we'll give this a corner radius of 4. We'll select both of these and we'll make this an auto layout, so Shift and A, and in here we're going to give this a padding of 8 and 8. We're going to give it a background color, a fill, let's say something like this, and we'll change the opacity of that to 40. And let's also give this a corner radius of 4, and we'll give it a stroke as well, so we'll do a gradient stroke and we'll do it something like this, something like that. Just play around with it. We want it to be quite subtle. It's looking a little bit off balance on the left, so let's select our auto layout, and if we go here we can expand this. Now let's actually give this 16, maybe 24 padding on the left seems good, and then we'll just make sure that this is aligned right. We'll select everything in our header and we will make sure that they are all centered align, and we'll make them a frame, and we'll make sure that's positioned 40 from the top. Now if you've been following along so far, then great, but we're actually going to speed things up, so if you want a follow by follow steps, then you're going to have to fill in some of the gaps here. Let's add in our H1, so this is echoes are never silent, like this. Now this is just using the same font that we have in the logo, 105 pixels, -2 spacing, and what I've done with it is I've given it an appearance mode of overlay, so you can see it sits on that background image quite cool. The next thing we're going to add is our H2, uncover the mystery of NYX. We're going to add that in at the bottom right here. So this is the same font that we have up here and in our navigation. Now we're going to add in our main call to action, which is a similar box to like what we created up here. Paste that in. So this is a kind of trailer box, but then it's also just our main button to buy the game on Steam. This is the primary button that we want to draw people to. Our center balance layout is starting to lean a bit to the left, so let's add in another box. Now imagine there's more on this page and we want the user to scroll down and see it, so something like this, teasing that continuation is good. And then we've just kind of got this gradient line connecting them both. The very last thing we're going to add is just this gradient on the bottom, and we're going to make sure that's positioned behind our boxes and behind our text, and that just creates a little bit better contrast behind the text itself. If you're following along, of course make this your own, and I would love to see what ideas you guys come up with. But now we're going to turn this background image into a video using MidJourney. So if we go back over into MidJourney, now let's click on our image itself. Now down here you can go animate image. Now this is what we want. We're actually going to click on manual and low motion. Now this will give us the opportunity to add in our own sort of prompt. Now let's just take this and we'll put in something like this. A cinematic animation of a lone astronaut running across a glowing back volcanic landscape at night, lava cracks. That prompt gave us these 4 videos here. Now you can see the animation on them is a little bit silly and it's not quite what we want. I don't think we want the astronaut looking around. I think just having him walking off is going to look cooler because it just looks a little goofy. We're going to go back to our main image and we're going to do the same again. We'll go low motion, no mention of him turning around. Let's see what this comes up with. Now we're definitely getting closer with these 4 videos, but I really don't like the way the astronaut is walking. We're going to give it the prompt that it's walking slowly away from the camera into distance. And these are the videos that it comes back with. Now this is a lot better. I think this bottom right is exactly what we need. So we can just right click on it and then we can download either as a GIF, raw video, or for social, I would download it as a raw video. So here is the final video. Now, as you can see, it is quite low res. It's only 480p. If you wanted to use it on an actual production ready website, you would have to upres it using something like Astra. Now that can take the 480p, upres it using AI into something like 1080 or 4K. This step is another subscription which costs money. So I would only really suggest using this if you wanted to push it to a live website. But if just creating a website to share on social media is what you want, then you can actually get away with the low resolution. Now I'll show you how I do that. So if you go to your design in Figma, if you go to your background image, if you just hide that, you go to your page here and you make sure that it's got no background fill, your entire frame of your website here just becomes a big PNG. So you can save that out as a PNG. Now you can pull it into DaVinci and then you can put your video underneath it like so. And I actually have my H1 because I made the overlay in DaVinci there because that made sense for that. So if you want something to share on social media, something like this is great. But if you were designing this for an actual client project, then I suggest using something like Astra to upres it. Never ever has it been so easy for designers to be able to make worlds like this, art direction, have so many tools at their fingertips to be able to create concepts so quickly using AI. So if you guys liked this sort of video, please hit the like button. Let me know in the comments if you guys followed along and what the concept was for the website that you worked on. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll catch you guys soon with another video.